Hello and welcome to another video by Essex Radio Hire. Jason20XTA with you today. We'll be taking a look at the Icom IC2730E dual band mobile transceiver radio. This radio features 2 meters and 70 sems on both VFOs and 50 watts output on VHF and UHF. Amongst its many other features, this radio also has the ability to do crossband repeat, which we'll take a look at later. This is the front control panel for the Icom IC2730 mobile radio. We're going to take a quick look through the various keys on the front and a brief description of what they might do. So very quickly, we have the power mute key here. One quick push mutes both sides of the radio, regardless of the volume dial setting here, which is independent for each side of the radio. We have the dial key here, which if you're in VFO mode goes up or down the step that you selected. We have the squelch control here, and that's got a full range of selection. We have the main band key here, which allows you to select between what side you're going to transmit on, whether it be the left or the right hand side, and you've got one of those on each side. You've also got the VFO key here, which if you push once you can use to select the megahertz up or down using the dial key down there. If you push and hold, you can select a scan group, but if you push it once it just takes you into VFO mode, so that's fine. You've got the memory key here, which you can use to take you from, say, VFO mode to memory mode, and then push the VFO key again and you're back in VFO mode. You've got the very same thing on the right hand side of the radio. So what's really nice about this radio is you've got a selection for either side VFO on both sides of the radio, so that's quite good. You've got the monitor key here, so regardless of squelch or anything else like that, if you push this key and turn the volume up, you'll hear audio come out of the radio. Ideal for using if you want to see if there's anything in the background or that is being muted by the squelch. If you push and hold this key, choose which direction you want the duplex to go by this, because it takes you to the duplex selection setting screen. You've got your power selection key here, so you've got low, which is 5 watts, medium, which is about 15 watts, and then high, which on this radio is 50 watts, so quite impressive. If you push and hold this key, it takes you to the DTMF selection menu mode. This here, MW, is the memory write key. In VFO mode, it will take you to the memory write screen where you can set up a to write this to memory if you wanted to. And in memory mode, it will take you to the same screen but allow you to make sort of changes. And on the right here, you've got the menu key, which takes you into the main menu. And if you push and hold this key, it locks the keys. So in theory, no matter what you push of these keys, they don't do anything. All it allows you to do is to select the main left or right VFO and a few various other functions. Push and hold this for 1 second, and that's it. This is the hand microphone that is supplied with the Icom IC2730 radio, and it's the HM207. You may be familiar with it from other Icom radios in the range. It has quite an extensive number of controls available essentially in your hand while using the radio. So for example, we've got the VFO and memory mode selection key there, as well as a key to lock the control panel. So if I give it a quick push now, we're in VFO mode at the moment, and it's now switched to memory mode. Quite handy. We push and hold this key, the key symbol has appeared on the right, and the controls on the front of the radio, and I suspect most of this control panel on this hand mic are also locked. Push and hold for a second and it goes out. If you've got a home channel set, push and hold in this key, home with call underneath, will take you to that. If you push and hold call, it will take you to the calling channel if you've got those set up. If you push this main key here, it will swap between the left and the right VFO at the push of a button. That's quite handy. Here we have the up and down keys, which relate to either channel up or down selection if you're in memory mode, and if you're in VFO mode they'll go up or down in megahertz by the selection that you've made. That will typically be maybe 5, 12 or 25 kilohertz. So because we're in VFO mode at the moment, give it a quick push and it goes up by 12.5. However, if we go into memory mode, we can go up or down through the channels. That's quite handy. You've got your F1 key here, which, if we give it a quick push, takes you through the various bands in your radio. So we've gone from 2 meter, 70 sems, airband. So that's quite handy. If you push this F2, it may send out a tone burst if that's how you've got it set up. So here we have the clear and the enter key. If you're in the main menu and you want to exit out, push the clear key and it'll take you back to where you was. If you've entered a frequency in, such as 144,700, you want it to go to that, you can just push the enter key and it'll be set. You'll notice we have a numerical keypad underneath the main keys up here. You can use these for entering in frequencies or channel numbers in the memories if you know what they are. So for example, we could enter in a frequency of 144,712, and there you go, and you can do that for the left or right VFO. What's quite handy is you also have the ability to, using these keys here, turn the volume up or down without touching the main controls. So if we push the volume up, the volume on the radio is actually going up or down dependent on what button I push. The same applies to the squelch. We can turn the squelch up or down without physically adjusting the radio via the dials. This could be quite handy while driving, or if the radio is mounted in such a position where you can hear the radio, you might want to turn it up or down, but you can't get access to the control panel. Something to bear in mind, but a very useful function nonetheless. The audio reports off this microphone are very good. I do have the setting for the gain on the microphone at 4, but I have turned this down and experienced very good audio reports. You'll notice we've got 2 LEDs here, we've got one there and one there. The green shows that the radio has power, and so does this hand microphone. And the one on the left goes red when we transmit. So if we transmit for a brief second, there is a dummy node connected, so the RF will not go much further than this property. You'll notice it goes red when I transmit, and then when I dekey it stops. That is the HM207. I'm now going to show you how to dial into a frequency in VFO mode. It's very simple. Push the key on either the left or the right hand side VFO to take you from memory mode, which we're in at the moment, into VFO mode. Use either the dial here or the keypad to dial into your frequency. So we're going to tune to 144,787.50, which is on the display here. We need to enter a CTCSS tone, so we're going to do that. So we're going to push menu. We're going to use the key on this dial on the right hand side here to go down, scroll across to tone. We're going to push the MW, which acts as an enter key. We're going to scroll right using this dial here to set the tone mode that we want, which in this case is going to send a tone. If you're using a repeater, you might want to set it to tone squelch. So we'll do that. Push the enter key. And we'll use the dial on the right again to set the repeater tone, which, if it wasn't set already to 79.7, you just scroll through or such like and push the enter key again, push clear, and it's now set on the left hand side VFO with 144,787.50, tone squelch, low power, and the tone is set at 79.7. I'll give that a quick test by picking up my 2 meter radio and seeing if the audio comes out on this radio. 30XDA, checking access. And as you can hear and see by that series of tests, it was successful. And the same would also be if I was to key back to the handheld radio that I was using for that test in reverse. And that is a very quick demonstration of how you set a frequency up in VFO mode on the Icom IC2730 radio. As you may recall, I mentioned that this radio can do crossband repeat, so I'm going to quickly show you how to set that up now. I've got two handheld radios available to do this demonstration with, as well as the Icom 2730 radio. We've got an Icom VHF IDAS/analog radio here, and we have a UHF radio here, which is the same as that one but on the UHF band. The left hand side VFO is already set up ready for the VHF side of the crossband, so I'm just going to set up now the right hand side VFO with the appropriate settings, which will entirely vary depending on your setup, so these are not the values that you should necessarily use. I'll change across to the main band because I'm adjusting the main band at the moment. Go into menu, set the tone, which needs to be that one, then repeat the tone again, 79.7. You'll now see that the left and the right hand side VFO are set. Might be worth doing a quick test to check that the UHF radio is configured correctly, so we'll just do that. UHF test, and that worked fine. The power setting is low for both the left and right VFOs. Push the menu key, use the dial on the right hand side, scroll across until you reach EX menu, push enter. If it isn't on others already, go to others, push enter, repeat M, push enter. You'll now get a start come up, push enter, it'll ask you if you're sure, you go yes, and you hit enter. Right, I'm going to turn down the volume on both sides of the VFO and pick up the UHF radio. So now what will happen is when I key up on the UHF side, it will get rebroadcast on the VHF side and come out over here into this radio, and that's where you'll hear the audio. There is a SWR meter set up here behind the radio with a dummy load on top. So here we go.
This is 30XDA testing UHF to VHF crossband via the Icom IC2730 radio.
As you can hear, that seemed to work rather well. So I'm going to repeat the demonstration but doing it the other way around. So now it's going to go VHF into the crossband and then out on UHF.
This is 30XDA testing VHF to UHF via the crossband Icom IC2730 radio.
As you can hear, that was a complete success. So we're now going to exit out of crossband repeat mode, push the menu key, an exit message will come up, use the dial on the right to select yes, push enter, and you're done. Thank you for watching this quick video demonstration of the Icom IC2730 mobile radio. If you enjoyed this demonstration and would like to learn more about the products featured, please get in touch with Owen at Essex Radio Hire 01376 538 123, or visit the Essex Radio Hire Facebook page or our website. Please like and subscribe if you wish. We hope to see you in a future video.